Welcome back to another episode of Close Friends, where celebrities come over to my house and we have an amazing time. Today we have a very special guest. Please welcome the one and only Kevin Hart. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. We're going to play some 2K, maybe go outside, play some basketball, and just have an overall chill day. But before we do all that stuff, I gotta ask you a question. How has your quarantine been? It's been interesting, man. It's been different. I've been able to spend a lot of time with my family, which has been great. And also just kind of reevaluate a lot of things that I do in my life. Because you always gotta change and evolve. You know, when you have some downtime like this, you look at things through a different lens, and you figure out how you need to move forward. That's pretty deep, man. But yeah, it's just been an interesting time. You know, I've been working a lot, so I haven't really felt like it's been a down moment. You know, I've just been working remotely now. So yeah, I haven't felt like it's been too bad. I feel like I just saw you in a movie and you were driving a car. The Rock was there too. Did you guys really build that car together? No, we did not build the car. They built the car. I was just there to drive it. You know, they built it and then they said, "Hey, Kevin, come on set. You can drive the car." I was like, yes, I'll drive the car. And you know, they rolled it out and I started driving. And you know, I'm a terrible driver. You know, I'm a terrible driver. So it was difficult for me to maneuver something that nice. But they were great. You know, the team that they had around it, they were like professionals, you know? So they made it happen. But no, we didn't build the car. I don't think people realize how hard it is to be successful in the industry. When you see people who are successful, they've been doing it for a long time. So I don't think people really understand that longevity is the hardest part of being successful. Yeah, it takes a long time to be successful. You know, it's not an overnight thing. People think it's an overnight thing, and then you wake up one day and everything is going good for you. That's not how it works. You know, it's a lot of years of work, a lot of years of blood, sweat, tears, a lot of time sacrifice. You know, putting family things to the side and focusing on the craft. You know, all those years of doing that, and then eventually you find success. But once you get the success, you gotta keep the success. Now, you gotta stay at the top, which is even harder. You know, you could be at the top for a couple of years, but if you want to be at the top for decades, that's a whole different conversation. You know, so it's not easy to be successful. It's not easy to stay successful. And on top of that, you still gotta be happy. You know, you can't be successful and miserable. You gotta find that balance of how you maintain your personal life, you know, through all of that chaos and how you keep your head right. And that's the hardest part. So I wanted to do this for a while now. I was actually thinking about it last night. Why is it that I'm successful? Why am I at the place that I'm at right now? And I came up with a list of things that helped me become successful. The first thing is having a great team around you. Having a great team around you allows you to be your best self. You know, I have people around me who keep me grounded. I'm naturally a nervous person, you know, so I have people around me who help calm me down. You know, I have people around me who make sure I'm on point, you know, so I have people around me that check me. And that's what you need. You know, you gotta have people around you that can check you and help you. And the second thing is surrounding yourself with people that you can learn from. You know, I'm in my 30s, and I still try to learn from people every single day. You know, I'm still trying to learn how to better myself, you know, and you can't be scared to ask questions. A lot of times we think we know it all and we think we're above asking questions. Once you get to a certain level, people expect you to have it all together and have all the answers. No, we don't. You know, I'm sitting here telling you, I don't have it all together. I don't have all the answers, and it's okay to ask questions, and it's okay to learn from people. I'm still learning. What's the hardest thing about being Kevin Hart? Oh man, that's a great question. Probably the fact that I am naturally a very nervous person. And then I got to go out there and be Kevin Hart. You know, be the guy. Be the hype man. You know, it's two sides to it, you know. So I gotta turn off that switch. And when I'm Kevin Hart, I gotta be out there and be excited and be hyped. And sometimes when I'm in a low mood, that's not my personality. So, it's a weird thing. You know, I'm naturally not that hyper. I'm a very laid-back person. But I turned into this character of Kevin Hart, you know, which is a character in itself. It's not real, Kevin. It's Kevin Hart. You know, there's a difference between me and Kevin Hart. There's a difference between me and the characters that I played. I'm a lot different than all my characters. Who is your favorite character that you've played? Oh, man, that's a tough question. I think probably Ticket. I think Ticket was probably my favorite role. I think that was the best performance that I ever had, you know, and that's what I love about being an actor, is being able to tap into different characters within myself. You know, being able to bring out these different versions of myself. And Ticket was definitely one of the most exciting ones. This is my home. I mean, I guess I can show you around a little bit. I don't know if I should. Yeah, you know what? I got my mask on. Come on, let's take a quick tour of the crib. Right when you walk in, you got a big old TV right there. Got my trophies. Got my shoes right there. And then you got a little hallway right here. At the end of the hallway, you got a little loft area. Here's the kitchen right here. You got the dining room table. Up 2 stairs. You got my little gym area. I don't even know if I should be showing you guys this much. But yeah, this is my house. How does it feel to be the richest comedian alive? That's a funny story because I was just talking to somebody about that yesterday. I was like, I didn't know I was the richest comedian. You know, they said, you know, Forbes put out their list. I said, really? They said, yeah, you're the highest paid comedian right now. I was like, cool. You know, I don't look at it like that. I don't look at things like that. You know, I look at it as blessings. You know, I'm just grateful and thankful that God has allowed me to be in this position. You know, I never looked at it as I'm competing against anybody. You know, I'm just blessed. You know, God bless me. That's what I look at it as. And I'm happy. You know, I'm happy for myself and my family, and that's all that matters. Thank you so much for coming over today. I appreciate you. Man, make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Or I'm roasting everybody. Peace.